After studying this model, you shall be able to learn about meaning of consumer preferences, concept of indifference curve and indifference map, the law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, relationship between marginal rate of substitution and marginal utility, properties of the indifference curves, perfect substitutes and perfect complements, good, bad and neutral commodities. Indifference curve analysis is a very popular method used to explain consumer behavior. The technique of indifference curve was first invented by Edgeworth 1881 and then by Fisher 1892. Later on, the Italian economist Pareto 1906 put it to extensive use and the results were subsequently extended by Soviet economist Slutsky in 1915. We have already explained the concept of cardinal and ordinal utility theories. Modern indifference curve approach uses the concept of ordinal utility. The indifference curve analysis assumes that the consumer have complete information about all the aspects of economic environment. Further, the consumer is assumed to act rationally. So given the money income and prices of goods, he will choose the combination from among various alternatives that gives him maximum satisfaction. Consumer preferences. Preferences means choosing one alternative over others. To analyze the preferences under two-dimensional setup, the commodities which a consumer can buy can be divided into two groups as goods X and good Y. The consumer's choice among various alternatives depends upon his preferences, that is, the ranking he gives to various alternatives. Other factors, for example, income and prices, also influence his choice of an alternative. Indifference curve approach of consumer behavior. Certain important assumptions about the nature of consumers' preference are the following. Complementness. Under this assumption, the consumer is capable of comparing all the alternative combinations and ranks them according to utility. Given two bundles, P and Q, he can decide whether he prefers P to Q or Q to P, or he is indifferent between the two. Transitivity. The transitivity of preference means that if a person prefers a combination P to Q and also prefers Q to R, then he will prefer P to R. Thus, transitivity implies that consumers' taste and preferences are consistent. Non-satiation. More of a good is always preferable to less of that good, but differently, more is better. Other things remaining constant, the assumption implies that the individual is not already oversupplied or oversatiated with any good and that the good is desirable. Indifference curves. An indifference curve represents the various alternative combinations of two commodities which give the same level of satisfaction to the consumer. So the consumer is indifferent between these combinations. The indifference curve is a graphical representation of indifference schedule where all the alternative combination of commodities gives exactly the same satisfaction level or utility to the consumer. To explain it further, consider the example given below. Now, table number 1, it represents combination unit of goods X and unit good Y. If he prefers P combination, then he is consuming 1 unit of good X and 100 units of Y. Q combination, 2 units of good X and 45 units of Y. R, the unit have 3 goods of X and 25 Y goods. S combination, he consumes 4 units of X and 15 units of Y. T combination, 5 units of good X and 10 units of good Y. The given table shows that the consumer is indifferent between the given 5 alternative combination PQRST of 2 goods X and Y. When all the combinations are represented in the form of a graph, we obtain an indifference curve as shown in the figure 1. So this figure shows you when we take different combination of goods X on x-axis and good Y on the y-axis. It is a figure 1 shows the quantities of commodity X on the horizontal axis and commodity Y on the vertical axis. All of the 5 combinations shown by points P, Q, R, S and T fall on the same indifference curve, indicating that these alternative combinations give equal utility to the consumer. The indifference curve is also called the iso-utility curve. Iso means the same, as it represents equal level of satisfaction at every point on the curve. Note, as we move down the indifference curve, an increase in the quantity of good X is offset by a decrease in quantity of good Y, so as to maintain the same level of satisfaction along the curve. Indifference map. One indifference curve shows combination bundles providing single level of satisfaction. If we can now think of different indifference curves for each given satisfaction level, in fact, we can draw any number of indifference curves representing different level of utility. An indifference map is the whole set of indifference curves representing the consumer's taste and preferences. Figure 2. Higher indifference curve showing greater quantities of both goods representing higher satisfaction level as more is better. On the other hand, lower indifference curve showing lesser quantities represents a lower satisfaction level. Now you can see figure 2. In the above diagram, indifference curve shown as IC1 represents the lowest satisfaction level, while the curve IC4 represents the highest satisfaction level. Along any given indifference curve, the level of satisfaction remains same at all points. Marginal rate of substitution. Marginal rate of substitution, MRS, is one of the most basic concepts of the indifference curve approach. It shows the rate at which a consumer is willing to exchange commodities X and Y along a given indifference curve. More specifically, marginal rate of substitution of X for Y, MRS XY, is the amount of good Y which the consumer is willing to give up as he gets 1 additional unit of good X, so that his satisfaction level remains the same. In our example, table number 1, when a consumer moves from P to Q, the consumer sacrifices 55 unit of Y for 1 extra unit of X and still remains on the same indifference curve. Therefore, at this stage, MRS XY is equal to 55. The movement is shown below in figure 3. You can see the figure 3. When a consumer moves from point P to Q on this indifference curve, he sacrifices delta y for delta x and remains at the same satisfaction level. This means the marginal rate of substitution of x for y, MRS is delta y divided by delta x equal to PA divided by AQ. Marginal rate of substitution between x and y is equal to change in y divided by change in x. Now, if the points P and Q are very close, the values of delta y and delta x will be very small. Then the marginal rate of substitution between x and y will be given by the slope of the tangent to the indifference curve at that point, figure 5. Principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. In our example, table 1, we observe that when the consumer moves from point P to T, he does not have to sacrifice same amount of good y for each extra unit of good x. Rather, he sacrifices lesser and lesser amount of commodity y for each extra unit of x as he moves towards point T. This behavior of the consumer is said to be satisfying the principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, which says that the marginal rate of substitution between x and y diminishes as more and more goods x is substituted for good y. The principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution is illustrated diagrammatically in figure 4a and figure 4b. Now you can see figure 4a and figure 4b. It is evident from the figure 4a that the consumer moves towards along the IC. The length of delta y becomes shorter and shorter while delta x is kept the same. Put differently, the marginal rate of substitution xy falls as the consumer gets more of good x and less of good y. The diminishing marginal rate of substitution xy can also be demonstrated by drawing tangents at different points on the same indifference curve. The marginal rate of substitution xy at any point is given by the slope of the tangent at that point on the indifference curve. It is clear from the figure 4b that the slope of the tangent declines as we go down the indifference curve. From the law of diminishing marginal utility, we know that the consumption of x increases, its marginal utility decreases. Therefore, the consumer sacrifices lesser amount of good y for each additional unit of good x. Thus, marginal rate of substitution xy falls when the amount of x is increased. Marginal rate of substitution and marginal utility. It can be shown mathematically that marginal rate of substitution xy between two commodities is equal to the ratio of marginal utilities of the commodities x and y. Since utility on each point of the indifference curve remains the same, we can represent an indifference curve by the following function. The utility xy is equal to, say, equation number 1, where A represent the constant utility along indifference curve and x and y are the amount of commodities x and y respectively. Taking total differentiation of equation 1, we get delta u upon delta x dx plus delta u upon delta y dy is equal to 0. That is minus dy upon dx is equal to delta u upon delta x whole divided by delta u upon delta y. Delta u delta x and delta u delta y are marginal utilities of goods x and y respectively. Thus, minus dy upon dx is equal to marginal utility of x divided by marginal utility of y is equal to marginal rate of substitution between x and y. Thus, the marginal rate of substitution between two goods is equal to the ratio between the two marginal utility of two goods. Properties of indifference curve. The main properties of indifference curves can be deduced from the assumptions about the nature of preferences upon which indifference curve analysis is based. Indifference curves slope downward to the right. This means that indifference curves are negatively sloped. This follows from the assumption of non-satiation of preferences. That is, more of a good is always preferred to less of that good. Negatively sloped indifference curve shows that an increase in the amount of a good must be accompanied by the decrease in amount of the other so that satisfaction level remains the same. Let us consider a change in combination from point A to point B in a way that the quantity of good x increases while y remains same. This will make B more preferable in comparison to the original combination A, and therefore the combination A and B will not be on the same indifference curve. Instead of being negatively sloped, if indifference curves were horizontal, the consumer would be indifferent between the above two combinations, point A and point B. But this would violate our assumption of non-satiated preferences, ruling out horizontal indifference curves when the two goods are normal. The situation is illustrated in figure 5a. Now you can see figure 5a and b. In figure A we have a horizontal line and in 5b we have a vertical line. Likewise, with two normal goods, an indifference curve cannot be represented by a vertical straight line, figure 5b, as in this case combination A and B yields same satisfaction level having same amount of x, but B contains more y than A. Further, an upward or positively sloped indifference curve, figure 5c, means that the combinations A and B yield equal satisfaction, though B contains more goods of x and y, but this cannot be so if both the goods have positive marginal utilities. Now see figure 5c and 5d. In all the three situations discussed above, the level satisfaction of the consumer rises as he moves from point A to point B, since he starts to consume more of at least one commodity. Therefore, normal indifference curves cannot be horizontal, vertical, or upward sloping. Thus, as a last possibility, an indifference curve must be downward sloping as shown in figure 5d. Negatively sloped indifference curve indicates that for a consumer to get same satisfaction level from various combinations. As the quantity of good X is increased, the quantity of Y must be reduced. Second, indifference curves are convex to the origin. Indifference curves are usually convex to the origin, which means that the left portion of an indifference curve is relatively steeper while the right portion is relatively flatter. Thus, this movement from left to right down the indifference curve, the value of its slope, absolute, declines. This property of the indifference curve follows from the principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution discussed in section 5.1. A convex shaped indifference satisfies the condition of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, as is clear from the figure 6a, where as the consumer moves down along the indifference curve from A to F, he gives up lesser and lesser amount of Y for each additional unit of X. This is because when the consumer reduces his consumption of good Y while increasing his consumption of good X, the urge for more units of X declines continuously, making the consumer sacrifice fewer Y for each extra unit of X. Instead, if the indifference curve was concave, this would imply that the marginal rate of substitution increases as more and more units of X are substituted for Y. You can see the figure 6. Figure 7 shows the concave indifference curve. It is clear from figure 7 that for each extra unit of good X, the consumer is ready to sacrifice more and more quantity of Y. That is, marginal rate of substitution increases as more quantity of good X is substituted for good Y. Thus, an indifference curve that is concave to the origin violates the principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Therefore, in the presence of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, we cannot have concave indifference curve. The third assumption, two indifference curves cannot be intersect or touch each other. Intersection of the two indifference curves representing two different levels of satisfaction is not possible. This property follows from the assumptions of transitivity and not satiation of the preferences. This property can be proved through the method of contradiction. Suppose two indifference curves intersect or touch each other at point P. See figure 8 and 9. Now consider point A on indifference curve IC1 and point B on IC2, which is vertically above point A. Consumer will be indifferent between combination A and P since both are lying on the indifference curve IC1. Further, the combinations B and P will provide equal utility to the consumer as they both lie on the same indifference curve IC2. Applying transitive assumption, it follows that the combination A will be equivalent to B in terms of satisfaction, but combination B lies on a higher indifference curve and contains more of good Y than combination A, while the amount of X is same in both the combination. Thus, the consumer will definitely prefer B to A. If assumption of non-satiation of preferences holds, but the intersection of two indifference curves leads to a conclusion of A being equal to B in terms of utility or satisfaction, which is not possible. Therefore, it can be concluded that the indifference curve cannot intersect or touch each other. Fourth assumption, higher indifference curves represent higher level of satisfaction. A higher indifference curve will represent a higher satisfaction level than a lower indifference curve. Put differently, the combinations lying on higher indifference curve will provide greater satisfaction than the combinations lying on lower indifference curve. In the figure 10, IC2 is a higher indifference curve than IC1. Therefore, the combination B, which lies on indifference curve IC2, will provide the consumer more satisfaction than combination A, which lies on IC1. This is because the combination B contains more of both commodities X and Y than the combination A. Applying the assumption of non-satiety, the consumer must prefer B to A. Now, using transitivity assumption, it can be said that the consumer will prefer any combination on IC2 to any combination on IC1. We therefore conclude that a higher indifference curve represents a higher level of satisfaction. Now you can see figure 10. Exceptional shapes of indifference curve. As discussed in the previous sections, standard indifference curves are convex as implied by the principle of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. However, under certain circumstances, the shape of indifference curves may not necessarily be strictly convex as discussed below. Perfect substitutes and perfect complements. Two commodities are said to be perfect substitute. If one good can be substituted for the other good at a constant rate, but put differently, the consumer is ready to sacrifice same quantity of one commodity for each additional unit of other commodity. This means that the marginal rate of substitution between the two commodities is constant, and thus the indifference curve is linear. Thus, a straight line indifference curve implies that marginal rate of substitution xy remains constant as more and more unit of x substituted for y. As explained in figure 11, on a straight line indifference curve, consumer is willing to give up same amount of y for each additional unit of x. That is, delta y1 is equal to delta y2 is equal to delta y3 is equal to delta y4. As more and more units of x substituted for y, since marginal rate of substitution xy is equal to the slope of indifference curve at a point on it, and because a straight line has same slope throughout, therefore the straight line indifference curve will mean the same marginal rate of substitution xy throughout. However, in real life, goods tend to be imperfect substitutes, and therefore the indifference curves are not normally a straight line. Now we consider the case of perfect complements, which are consumed together in a fixed proportion. Perfect complements cannot at all be substituted for each other and are therefore marginal rate of substitution between such goods is zero. A consumer needs fixed quantities of both the goods, for example, left and right shoe, to give him satisfaction. He cannot maintain satisfaction by substituting one commodity for the other. In figure 12, the indifference curve for perfect complementary goods will be L-shaped or right-angled, with the vertex of L showing the proportion in which the two complementary commodities are used, where the satisfaction level can only be increased by simultaneous increase in the quantity of the both commodities in the fixed proportion, which leads the consumer to a higher indifference curve. Next, good, bad and neutral commodities. If a commodity is good, more of the commodity is always preferable to less of that commodity. We have explained the indifference curves of such commodities which slope downward and are convex to the origin. On the contrary, when a commodity is bad, more of it will lower the consumer's satisfaction. Such bad, for example, pollution, are undesirable and provide disutility to the consumer. Therefore, the indifference curve in this case assume a different shape. Suppose a bed is represented on X axis and a good is represented on Y axis, when the indifference curve will be positively sloped as shown in figure 13a. This is because a movement towards the right along the indifference curve reduces the consumer's satisfaction level due to increased consumption of VAT, and therefore to keep his satisfaction level constant, the amount of good has to be increased. Thus, the direction of the preference in this case is upward to the left, figure 13a. If commodity X is a good and commodity Y is bad, the indifference curves are upward sloping to the right as shown in figure 13b. Now you can see figure 13a and 13b. When commodity X and Y both are bets, indifference curve will be downward sloping and concave to the origin as shown in figure 14. If the consumption of one bed is increased, the consumption of other bed must fall, so that the fall in satisfaction level due to increase in consumption of one bed can be compensated by increase in the satisfaction level due to decrease in consumption of other bed. As the consumer goes down the indifference curve, absolute slope increased and hence marginal rate of substitution increases. This means that the equal successive increase in the amount of X will have to be compensated by more and more reduction in quantity of Y. Now you can see figure 14. In the case of neutrals or neutral goods, the consumer does not care whether he has more or less of that commodity. In other words, marginal utility of such commodity is zero and they do not provide any satisfaction to the consumer. If commodity X is neutral and Y a normal commodity, the indifference curve will be horizontal, a straight line as shown in the figure 15a, indicating that a higher satisfaction level can only be achieved from increasing the consumption of a normal good. On the other hand, if commodity Y is neutral and commodity X is a normal good, then the indifference curve will be vertical straight line as depicted in figure 15b. In this case, to increase the satisfaction and therefore to reach a higher indifference curve, the consumer must acquire more of a normal good X, as commodity Y does not provide any utility to the consumer. Now you can see figure 15a, 15b. A commodity may be a good up to a point called the point of satiation, and then because bad if the consumer is forced to increase his consumption beyond that point. In short, far too much of any good may be bad. Let us suppose that the commodity X becomes bad as its consumption increases beyond X1 unit, and commodity Y becomes bad beyond the quantity Y1. This case is represented in figure 16, where circular indifference curve are obtained. Point B represents the highest satisfaction level that can be achieved under this condition. Therefore, is the point of satiation or bliss. In the figure, different shapes of the indifference curve are shown in 4 possible situations. In zone 1, both commodities are goods, and thus the indifference curve have normal shape. In zone 2, commodity X is bad and Y is good, and therefore the indifference curves are upward sloping. In zone 3, X is a good while Y is a bad, and shown by upward sloping indifference curves. In zone 4, both commodities are bad and thus indifference curves slope downward. You can see figure 16. When the consumer has excess of a commodity so that it becomes a bad, his satisfaction can be increased by reducing that bad. For example, the consumer can increase his satisfaction by moving from point P to Q. In general, the preference direction of the consumer will be towards point B. That is, the closer the consumer is to point B, the better off he is. Now we can summarize. Indifference curve analysis is based on the concept of ordinal utility theory. In difference curve analysis, consumer preferences are assumed to be satisfying the properties of completeness, transitivity, and non-satiation. Indifference curves represent the same level of satisfaction or utility of the consumer and are also called isoutility curves. Marginal rate of substitution of X for Y represents the amount of Y which the consumer has to give up for the gain of one additional unit of X so that his level of satisfaction remains the same. Marginal rate of substitution diminishes as more and more of good X is substituted for good Y. The marginal rate of substitution between two goods is equal to the ratio between the two marginal utilities of the two goods. Indifference curves slope downward to the right. Indifference curves are convex to the origin. Two indifference curves cannot touch or intersect each other. Higher indifference curves represent higher level of satisfaction. Under certain circumstances, the shape of the indifference curves may not be strictly convex and downward sloping. Exceptional shapes of indifference curves can be obtained in case of perfect substitute, perfect complements, and in the presence of bets and neutral goods.